Two Bulls in a China Shop is brought to you by these great companies that are giving us money to let you listen to their stuff.
Bullshit, Kyle. We make this show. You and me. Two Bulls in a China Shop is brought to you by us.
Someone's got to pay the bills, Dan, because it's not our trading.
All right, roll them.
You are listening to an entertainment program put together by a company called Financial Ineptitude. Anything said on this show is not an endorsement or professional advice. Would you really want to tell a court of law you were suing us because you thought taking financial advice from two idiots on a podcast put out by Financial Ineptitude was a good idea? Really? Clown hat smiley face.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the China Shop. You're here. We're here. Everybody's in a good mood, I hope. Get on inside. I'm Shopkeeper Dan. With me, as always, is Kyle, the inimitable creator of FinancialIneptitude.com. Kyle, how are you doing today?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm good.
Doing shitty.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in. Telling me how great everybody else is doing.
Lost 100 points on the ES today.
Big red day. Not everyone's doing fine.
Oh, it's true. But I saw Kramer saying there's not enough red stocks to justify such a red day. So,
Oh, really? I saw a heat map that was like all red.
I know, right?
Hey, how's Burlington Coat Factory doing?
Oh, it's a good question. Come on in the shop, everybody. We got some fantastic news to go over. Brought to you by the lovely Sue Pullen at Fairway Independent Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender. Kyle.
Yes.
What's our big leadoff story? Burlington Coat Factory.
Oh, are you gonna play the song?
Do we do music on the show?
I think so.
We'll just skip the two bulls trading information.
What?
Two bulls trading information.
I'm inclined to agree.
Two bulls trading information.
That is accurate. Very accurate. What information?
Okay, yeah, now I'm feeling better about talking about the news.
Yes, okay. So we alluded to it a minute ago. The Dow tumbling over 600 points. S&P losing 2.1%.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be putting this on the fears that the Federal Reserve is not going to pivot away. Or I guess that everyone's been overly optimistic.
They're not getting that soft landing after all?
I don't know about the soft landing. I think everyone was expecting the Fed to not raise another like 75 BIP or like a super aggressive rate hike at the next FOMC. But looks like maybe people have rethought that.
Like they may just do that exact thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't help that last week a bunch of Fed officials, according to this, appeared to warn traders about embracing a less hawkish monetary policy narrative. They're all meeting this week at their annual retreats to the Jackson Hole that we always hear about. Jerome Powell is supposed to make a speech there on Friday about the economic outlook, and this is going to be a really important speech.
My brain is like, yeah, whatever, content. Why do they meet in Jackson Hole? That's a weird name.
Right? And it's in Wyoming, too. Like, that's where their annual retreat is, I guess, to get as far away from D.C. as they can. Are they in D.C.? Where do they meet normally?
The Fed, there's 12 different Fed banks, so they're everywhere. They're scattered.
Yeah.
And they meet in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. If anybody's from Jackson Hole and has a good reason why they meet there, I'd like to know. Maybe they all like to go ranching. I don't know, is ranching a verb? Can you ranch?
Yeah, I think that works. This article also says that the speech on Friday is going to be a double-edged sword for markets because it'll give traders and investors more certainty on the path of rates, along with the need to adjust their expectations. Michael Reynolds, the VP of Investment Strategy at Glenmead, who I don't know who that is, but apparently they oversee $45 billion worth of assets in Philadelphia. Reynolds says that the market is underestimating how much the Fed needs to tighten and how high rates need to stay to bring inflation back under control. The market needs to come to terms with how hard the Fed needs to tighten here. Part of what we're expecting from Jackson Hole is Powell to come out strong and say the Fed will tighten even if it risks a recession.
Okay, well, that's going to bring the market down, right? Everybody's coming down off that high of inflation's topped out, so we can all go back to partying.
I would think so. I mean, is this really that unexpected? I mean, you and I were both looking at the SPY on the daily chart, and it was I think it kissed its 200-day moving average, and that's what sparked the sell-off.
And then turned around. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess the real question is going to be, do we set a higher high or a higher low, or do we go out and take out that low from the 17th?
I'd sure love to see a higher low.
I would.
But at this point into inflation and they're still adding to those interest rates, I honestly don't see the party going. I don't see the market going back into full party mode just yet. I think we're not even done clearing out last party. Like the cops showed up and we still have half the house filled. They're like, get it, go on, go home. I think that's where we're at.
And they're all underage and drunk.
Right? Just the first people that got kicked out are ready to go back to the party.
Yeah. Like, oh, let's find another one.
Right?
Nobody's at Pete's house. Let's go over there. All right. What else we got in the news today?
You know who is lower in rates is China.
Oh, things must be going really well over there.
Yeah, they're going. They want everybody to get back to the party, so they're showing up at the people's houses saying, "Get back to that party
now."
China cut its benchmark lending rate on Monday the 22nd. They lowered the mortgage reference, but they just lowered it like a week ago, right?
Yeah, didn't we just talk about it?
We just talked about this. Well, they did it again.
Oh, that's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, okay. So last week they lowered their medium term, like their 3-year term. Today they lowered their 1-year term and their 5-year term. They lowered the 1 year by 5 bips and the 5-year by 15 bips. So they are still trying to spur more growth.
A lot of this was due to the issues with the property valuations over there, right? The housing market in China.
Oh yeah, the housing market is crazy. Bonkers, bankruptcies everywhere.
Is that going to affect us over here if properties over there collapse? Because, I mean, weren't we just talking too about Chinese investors buying up all of our houses?
Oh, hey, that might actually be good for the consumer here on the ground if Chinese real estate companies go bankrupt and have to liquidate their United States holdings.
Right. Suck for homeowners who are trying to get a good price for their home. But you know what? There's a lot of people that need homes, and prices are way too high.
There's fewer and fewer homeowners living in their homes, and more companies that own homes and rent them to people. So I say, let more people get a taste of the pie, or a slice of the pie.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
So it looks like China, instead of like doing a big one all at once, they're doing it like small increments more often. That's my personal guess. Looks like the anticipation is that they're going to have a couple more cuts before the year is over, but they're probably only doing it like 10 bips at a time.
You know what else was doing rate adjustments every few days?
Was it a South American country?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Argentina. Remember they're hitting like 70% inflation and they just raised their rates?
69, dude.
Yeah, some ridiculous amount, and they raised it again by like 950 bips. So yeah, raising your rates frequently or adjusting them frequently seems like a sign of desperation to me.
Not a good sign?
No. And the fact that they're doing such small amounts more frequently, that makes it look like, well, we got to be real careful here. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's just make a small change and see what happens next week.
Hey, Turkey last week hit 80% inflation, and they lowered their interest rates too. So
they in competition with Argentina?
I think so. It's just wild because usually you see countries moving together in lockstep. Like, oh, inflation's up, we'll all raise interest rates. Oh, we'll all lower them down. And thanks. Ever since we hit that pandemic, and then followed up by this crazy war Russia started, things are just bonkers. We'll see how it plays out.
You want to hear about another bonkers story?
I'd love to. They're my favorite.
I don't know if you've been following the Starbucks trying to unionize efforts.
From a distance.
Over in South Carolina, the authorities are investigating an alleged incident between employees and their managers. So I'm trying to read through the story here, and I'll try to sum up what it sounds like what happened. So the employees at this location, they voted to join the union, and the company was not happy with that because they've been actively pushing back against these unionization efforts.
Yeah.
The people there, this led to a confrontation between the employees and their manager, Melissa Morris, after the employees accused Starbucks of retaliating against them for unionizing. Anil Tripathi said that they were tired of how management was treating them, not listening to their complaints. What happened was that Starbucks announced on May 3rd a new benefits package that would be available on August 1st, but it would not be available to employees at unionized stores. The employees at this location, they organized what is called a March on the Boss, which is when the workers present their demands directly to the employer. They initially planned to confront their previous manager, but that manager quit and was replaced by this poor person. So the initiative happened on her first shift on August 1st. This poor fucking woman. But it does not sound like she handled things very well. She basically decided to claim that the workers were trying to assault and kidnap her, even though they were just kind of like following her around and like demanding responses.
Oh, wow. Oh,
It's
wow.
very, very bizarre. Yeah. And now the employees, there's audio of the whole thing. They did not kidnap her. It doesn't sound like that. She even asked if she was free to go, and they said yes.
Well, there you go. That's step one. I know every kidnapping case centers around being told that they can leave.
Normally, you're not allowed to leave.
Oh, wait, that's right. That's right. It's the other way around. You're not
Yes.
allowed to leave. Okay. Forcibly detained.
Yeah, and thanks to cell phones, it sounds like that we do have video of this. In the video, you can see Morris sitting at a table talking on the phone while there's a dozen employees standing nearby. And she later leaves the table while still on the phone. One of the employees said that they weren't menacing and they kept a good distance away, but after that, she filed with the Anderson County Sheriff 2 days later, alleging that she was being assaulted and kidnapped.
Wow.
Sounds a lot like Starbucks really trying to stop unions.
And villainize any employee that is part of a union.
Right.
Because, I mean, at its heart, the whole group of employees working there together, going to the boss in a united front, that is the core of what a union is.
That could
We're
be-
all going to be on the same page.
And if that's your first day on the job, I mean, I could see that being kind of terrifying, especially as a woman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have a bunch of angry teenagers coming at you demanding pay raises and new equipment.
Feeling very intimidated, sure.
But it sounds like she could have handled this a little better.
You know, on the flip side, Kyle, have you ever witnessed or been privy to a boss saying, like, if you don't do these things, you're going to be fired?
I have been privy to that before, yes.
Can I call that blackmail now or extortion?
Are you free to leave?
I think I might just start shouting that at any point things aren't going my way. Am I free to leave?
I know, right?
Like,
I leave
yes, sir,
now?
we're actually telling you have to leave. Am I free to leave? Yes, sir, this is a Wendy's. You need to leave. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Nobody wins in that situation.
Any good working relationship is not led by demands and ultimatums.
Yeah. Or any relationship.
Unfortunately, like that kind of dynamic exists way too often in the workforce.
It's tough. Yeah, nobody wins here.
No, nobody wins.
Because that poor lady on her first day, like, she as management, she's seen as representing the company as a whole. When she doesn't have that kind of much power, right? Like, she really...
No, she's the manager of a Starbucks.
Right. And if anybody listening, if you have any retail management experience, corporate says, here's your budget.
Right.
And part of that budget is payroll hours and payroll. And it's like when your employees all say, we need a raise, you can't, as the store manager, you can't just be like, you get a raise and you get a raise and you get a raise. Like, it's not that easy. So, you know, the workers, they're not in a good spot. That poor manager's not in a good spot. Nobody can win here.
No.
Thanks, corporate Starbucks.
Honestly, what she really should have done was said, like, okay, I'll take your concerns and I'll take them up the chain the way it's supposed to be done. But filing a lawsuit with the sheriff's department probably is not the path to take. Pretty sure this wasn't her decision.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing she got coached a bit for this.
Yeah. Definitely called corporate, and corporate said, press charges. You were kidnapped.
Yeah. Get rid of these employees and then we can hire non-union employees.
Right.
Yeah. Bonkers. That's how I describe that. What else do you have? Do you have anything fun? Funner than kidnapping and assault?
I mean, I don't know if it's more fun, but we had recently, a while back, we talked about large banks being investigated by Gensler and the SEC and the CFTC for using like WhatsApp and email for business communications. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, they're now being fined. Like the fines are coming in for doing so. The investigations.
What's it?
Total
Slap on the wrist?
collectively more than $1 billion. So
Oh,
I don't know. that used to that maybe in the 90s this would be something big, but now I feel like $1 billion collectively is a slap on the wrist for banks.
Sound like Dr. Evil.
Exactly. $1 million. Sir, we make more than that with the company. Anyway, looks like JP Morgan's getting hit $200 million. Morgan Stanley, $200 million. Bank of America, $200 million. Barclays, Goldman Sachs.
JP Morgan's revenue last year was 30.7 billion.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would say 200 million is a slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist, right? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know how they come up with the numbers for a fine.
Probably just look at what they need for their budget for next year.
Deutsche Bank getting off easy, 165 million euros, which now that the dollar's worth more than the euro, not so
right?
bad.
That should be good for manufacturing here.
I want to know what the SEC is going to do with this money. That's what I'd like to know.
Actually, wait, that's backwards. Yeah, I know. Does this run their...
This is what they do their payroll?
Or is this how they fund their Christmas parties or the Jackson Hole retreat?
Like they built the whole town of Jackson Hole?
Hang on, I'll look that up real quick.
I do know, I have to assume, like, in situations where somebody's been harmed, the SEC takes the fines and, like, does restitution. I would have to assume that. But in this case, maybe everybody was harmed, so are they going to distribute that $1 billion and give everybody in America $3?
Well, so that's what they do. They allocate the fines that they receive to compensate victims of the securities violations. But statistically, they collect a little over half of the fines that are imposed through settlements and judgments, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
So yeah, that sounds exactly like what it does. Like whenever you get those letters that say, like if you own this stock for like during this period of time, you may be eligible for compensation. Probably ends up being like 75 cents.
Yeah, it can't be. They don't ever place fines that would actually be like a stimulus check, right?
You think that the fine would end up to like make everyone whole who reports. Like, wouldn't that make more sense?
Gensler, if you're listening, I've got emotional damage from banks using WhatsApp to message each other, and it is big.
Oh man! All right, we got anything else?
Okay, I got the last thing that I wanted to touch on was we've been talking about Bed Bath & Beyond and Ryan Cohen exiting his stake, making about $60 million.
Oh, he's pretty good too,
right? Bed Bath & Beyond has recently hired Kirkland Ellis, a law firm known for being hired in bankruptcy moves.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
So,
okay. That's not a good sign.
They worked with Toys R Us. They were recently hired by Celsius and Voyager Digital in the crypto bankruptcies that just went on the last month. Does not look good. Ryan Cohen exits.
Yeah.
They hire bankruptcy lawyer. Oof. Sorry, Bed Bath & Beyond bag holders.
You better get out now.
Not advice, but... Oh!
Not advice.
Not advice. Get the fuck out.
Ah, shit. We'll have to keep an eye on this one.
Bed Bath & Beyond hit below 10 on Monday, and I am really kicking myself again for not doing that blind short when it hit 30.
Yeah, I know what you're feeling.
Whew. Anyway, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Let's end on a good note.
Still got $10 to zero. Still time, Dan. There's still time.
Oh, that's right. You have shares. Kyle, get out.
Oh, yeah. I got to close out those.
I can't give the listener advice, but I can give you advice. Kyle, fucking sell. Goddamn. Get out now.
I have been selling covered calls. I think this is the one that's going to flip it for me, though. Just take what I got left out of there and be done. It's been nice, though, because every now and then it just shoots up to 30, and then you just sell some $20 covered calls and collect, the premium.
Collect a lot of premium.
Wait for it to do it again.
Yeah, that's the real winners on the meme stocks.
Mm-hmm.
The options sellers.
The hard part is waiting for the right time.
Well, if it were me, I would be selling like a $1 call. Just let it get called away.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do next.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe I'll get to keep my share still.
There's a chance.
Right.
All right, folks. We hope you learned something today. I know I learned that I don't know anything. Don't listen to me.
I learned the SEC does not do very good a job of issuing fines or collecting them.
Let's get Gensler on here to defend himself.
Oh, I'd love to.
We'll line him up after we get that Buffett
Man,
interview.
that'd be fun. Yeah. I can dream.
And we can dream. Until next time, folks, happy trades.
Bye, everybody.
Two Bulls in a China Shop is an entertainment program, and all thoughts and opinions expressed in the show belong to the hosts and not of any company. They are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide entertainment about stocks in the financial industry of trading. If you make trades based on what you hear in this show, you assume all risks for those trades.